And just find a second to connect to your breath. Letting all thoughts exit your mind, not stressing about your plans for today. And we'll try a 3-part breathing practice. So here we'll start first by inhaling, letting the stomach expand. Then inhale into the sides of your ribs, letting them come out to the side. And finally into the chest. As we exhale, we'll follow that same pattern. So exhaling, pushing all the air out of your stomach and out of the sides of your lungs and from the chest. Inhaling first into the stomach, then through the sides, and then into the chest. And exhaling out of the stomach, the sides of your body, and from the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath like this. And then we'll return to our normal breathing pattern. The next breath in, let's reach our arms up to the sky. And exhale them down to your sides. One more time, inhale those arms up. Interlace the fingers, exhale to the right side. Just getting a little bit of movement in this morning. Inhale, center. And exhale, left. Inhale, center. And exhale, arms out in front of you. Walk the fingers forward. On the next inhale, let's walk our hands back up to our tall spine. We'll do a few neck circles. So finding a spot either on your knees or on the mat for your hands. Let's drop the left ear to the left shoulder. And then look up. Right ear to right shoulder. Look down. And just at your own pace. Let's do some neck circles here. Warming up the spine. Getting the blood moving a little bit. And switch directions. And slowly come back to center. Place our hands on the mat and swing the legs around into tabletop. We'll start on our cat-cow sequence here. Dropping the stomach in cow and arching the back in cat. See if you can use this time to really become aware of your spine. And maybe try going through the motions really slowly just to see how much control you have. Maybe there's some parts that you're really great at moving one vertebrae at a time. Other parts of the spine that maybe are a little all stuck together, and that's okay. One more breath. And whenever you're ready, we'll come to neutral spine. And we'll take the hips in some circles here. Maybe starting out small and then getting bigger. And let's switch directions. So often we move one way with our hips, usually forward and back. So it's great to get some three-dimensional movement in them, loosening up the joints, stretching out the surrounding muscles. And slowly bring that back to stillness. We'll send the right foot out behind us, tucking the toes, reaching the heel back, little stretch in the calf. And release that knee to the mat, send the left foot out, reaching the heel back for that stretch. And we'll drop that knee. Tucking the toes, lift the hips back and up into our first downward facing dog today. Stretching out the backs of the legs and the shoulders. Starting to lean forward through plank, we'll step that right foot forward. Drop the left knee. into a low lunge. Just spending a second to check our alignment. We'll want that right knee over the right ankle. And as you lean forward into this, you're welcome to bring both hands to the inside of that leg if you want. And we'll start to stretch out that front hip flexor. Starting to place all your weight on that right foot, and the left knee will inhale the torso up. Arms reaching to the sky, a little back bend into crescent. Let the shoulders drop away from your ears. And exhale your hands to the mat. We'll walk that right foot across to the left hand into pigeon pose. And you're welcome to be on your hands or your elbows for this pose. Finding a deep stretch in that right glute. And then wherever you're at, let's place both those hands in the center of the mat and tuck the back toes. We'll start to lift back and up into downward facing dog again. From here, we'll lean forward, stepping that left foot up, dropping the right knee into a lunge. Spending just a second here to warm up the hip flexor and stretch it out. And on the next breath, let's bring the torso and the arms up to the sky. Slight back bend into crescent. And on the exhale, bring those hands back to the mat. Walk the left foot across to the right hand. And we'll drop that knee into half pigeon, either on your hands or your elbows. On the next breath, rather than stepping into downward dog, we'll just drop our weight onto that left hip, swing the right leg around, and hug it into your chest. If you want a little bit more of a stretch there in the glute, you can bring that foot over the left knee and maybe reach that right hand back behind you. And let's release that right leg back to the mat. And lift up the left knee, hug it into chest. Maybe bringing the left ankle over the right knee. Maybe reaching back with the left hand. And we'll release that to the mat. From here, we'll spread our legs wide on the mat out in front of us. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale them forward, straight out in front of you. If you need to, you can walk your fingers out a little bit. Let's walk them to the right side. Feeling the stretch in the right leg. Then we'll walk our fingers to the left. Slowly taking our time to get over there. And back to center. Inhale, walk the hands up to a tall spine. Let's place our left hand, and we'll take an inhale, reach the right arm overhead, and the left hand reaches to the left toes. So a big side stretch. Just holding this for a few moments. And on the next breath, we'll straighten out, reaching the left arm overhead and right hand to our right toes. And on the next breath, let's come back to center. Bring those feet together in front of you. And just spend a second here with your feet close towards you, tall spine. Maybe straighten out the shoulders. Looking straight ahead. Actively moving our shoulders away from the ears and down the back. And maybe on the next breath, walk our feet out just a little bit further away from us. And hinging from the hips, fold over the ankles. Inhale, walk the hands up to a tall spine once again. And here we'll tent our knees in front of us. So knees are bent, feet on the floor, and slowly roll down onto your back. You can either stay here for a moment, or we'll place the hands underneath the hips and lift the feet straight up to the sky in waterfall. On the next breath, let's slowly start to bend the knees, dropping the feet back to the mat. Release your hands from underneath your hips. Open them to the sides. You can either stay here with your knees tented, or you can send your feet straight out in front of you, whichever you prefer. Start to bring awareness to your breath. Letting go of everything else going on. On the next breath in, start to bring awareness back to your body. Maybe wiggle the fingers and the toes. rolling the wrists and the ankles. And then roll onto whichever side you prefer. Bending the knees. Second here. Whenever you're ready, start to walk the hands up. To a seated position. We have a minute here, so maybe just at the end of your yoga practice, use this time to thank yourself for coming. Maybe make a goal or intention to continue this practice of doing what's good for your body. Maybe it's for today or maybe for this week. And with that in mind, let's inhale, reaching the arms up to the sky. Bring them to heart center. Thank you guys for coming today. Namaste. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Let me know, as always, if you have any requests for next time. If not, I'll see you Monday.